Coming up next on Common Agenda, we bring you the news.
In song, am I lying?
You'll have to tune in to find out.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that ends in 15 minutes. My name is Sam Crichton, and this is Common Agenda, the show that brings you the news and upcoming events surrounding Emerson College University. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to put something out there. Valentine's Day is coming up. If you'd like to make one lonely TV show host very happy this semester, I'll be sitting alone in the Common watching old couples walk by. Feel free to stop by and bring me flowers. Or if you prefer, you can just bring your camera and film the whole ordeal in black and white for your next project. We know that Emersonian film kids refuse to make comedies, but instead resort to existential emotional dramas about loner girls in the great outdoors. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's do the news. In recognition of African American Heritage Month, the Emerson College Polling Society released a survey asking for opinions on discrimination in race relations. 61% of African Americans believed that race relations in the U.S. weren't improving, a view shared by 41% of Caucasians and 42% of Hispanics who also participated. The survey also covered more political topics like healthcare, national security, and the economy. The findings were posted on CBS, BET News, and several other news websites. But just so you all know, Common Agenda broke the story first. We just, couldn't go live because of a clock issue. Last Thursday, two very talented artists performed at the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. Singer Anita Kalitsakis recounted stories of her upbringing in Tanzania through her bilingual poetry, and sophomore Sandriati Faye performed original songs about boundaries, changes, and the human experience. The event took place in the Walker Building and highlighted some of the most diverse and talented people we have here at Emerson. Now, I'm not saying that Neil Patrick Harris and Oprah Winfrey showed up, but I am saying that they didn't show up. But the event was pretty cool anyways. American Idiot came to the Boston Opera House last weekend, and if you missed it, be jealous, because you missed out on Green Day's music and, of course, Emerson graduate Mariah McFarlane. American Idiot is Mariah's first national tour, and hey, want to know a secret? Mariah learned the show in just 3 days and started performing less than 2 weeks after her graduation. American Idiot will continue its tour up until this May, passing through Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida, Texas, and a bunch of other states, so none of you have an excuse to miss it. And speaking of successful Emersonians, congratulations to MFA student Lisa LaFleur for having the fanciest name at Emerson. In addition, Lisa was recently awarded the College Art Association Professional Development Fellowship, which includes a $5,000 grant to help kickstart a promising artist's career. The College Art Association rewarded only 5 graduates nationwide, so the fact that Lisa was one of them is a pretty big deal. Lisa plans on using part of her reward for her interactive documentary, One Way Home. Seriously, way to go, Lisa. In case you sports fans didn't hear, the Emerson Lions have been dominating the basketball court this season. The men's team has already topped Amherst College and Worcester Polytech Institute, 2 of the highest-ranked teams in the country. And this past Saturday, the men won a clear victory against Clark, and the Lionesses also snagged a win by just 2 points. Artsy, athletic, and shockingly attractive? I guess that makes us Emerson kids a triple threat of awesome. Now let's see what America's sweetheart Hunter Reis is up to.
Hey guys, I'm Hunter Reis, and today I'm hanging out with Scott Louthan, president of Emerson's newest club, Emerson Professional Shots, Stunts, and Safety. Good to have you here today, Scott.
Thank you for having me.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about the club?
Sure. The general idea behind Emerson Professional Shots, Stunts, and Safety is to basically get a large grouping of students together to form film sequences that are really difficult to do on your own. So that includes different kinds of stunts and also large sequences which just can't be done, like large model building or even green screen action.
So it is a new club, so I'm sure tons of people are trying to join. Can anybody join? And if so, how would they go about it?
Yeah, anyone as long as they're an Emerson College student can join. We have weekly meetings every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. and the room changes based on what we're doing. And then we also have a once a month on the weekend full day workshop where we specify something specific that we want to do.
So what do the weekly meetings look like?
Usually what we'll do is we'll go through some of the safety, make sure that everything we do can be handled okay on set, and then we'll actually dive into it and learn how to film those things. So for example, we're doing fight sequences, we're even going into candy glass and shattering that safely, and then even going up to blowing up a huge castle wall out of styrofoam.
And tell us a little bit about the monthly workshops. What examples do you have of that?
Yeah, so for the once a month workshops, it's like a 6-hour workshop where basically we have usually a union professional come in and teach us something. So for our first one, we're doing a makeup workshop where we're actually going to learn how if someone gets shot or if someone gets stabbed, we can actually make it look realistic with makeup on how they're bleeding out, or just anything that involves that kind of situation.
And do you have any big events planned for this semester?
Yeah, our end of term project essentially is this Clash of Clans live action short where we're going to set up a castle, we're going to have a bunch of people charge at it like barbarians, and we're going to blow the entire thing up with air cannons. It's going to be awesome.
Sounds intense and expensive. How are you planning on funding this project?
We recently just started an Indiegogo project. It's similar to like a Kickstarter. We actually crowdfund it. So we basically give the pitch out to people, and there's a video on it on Indiegogo.com. And if you are interested in something like that, you can just donate right there.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Scott. This has been awesome. And now let's check in with Melanie Camacho for our weekly Focus on Film segment. What have you got for us today, Melanie?
Hi, this is Melanie from Focus on Film. Today we're here with Jordan, writer, producer, and director of First Impressions, which you can find on YouTube. Hey Jordan, how's it going?
I'm great, how are you?
Awesome. So, can you give us a little background on the plot of your film for those who haven't seen it yet?
So First Impressions is basically every single moment that you have whenever you see another person, you just imagine like if you could be friends with that person or like what you could be,
Right.
But within that short time period. Writing the script was actually pretty funny because I wrote the script when I was in my research writing class.
Oh.
The teacher told us to write a creative poem, and I just wrote that, and it was really silly at first. I shared it to the class, got a few laughs, so I was like, hey, I can make a video out of this.
Who was the other actress along with you in the elevator?
That was Maggie Dunleavy. She's also in Piano Row. I met her in the elevator, fun fact. My favorite scene was when we're in the garden and we're just kind of like running around. And since there was like no dialogue piece, we're just kind of talking about like random stuff. We're like, oh, pickles and, and stuff.
Can you tell me why you chose to act in it?
It's just something very personal to me. I wrote it, so I just kind of want to act it in it as well because that's why I saw the character as myself.
Can you tell us why you chose the ending? Like, at the ending, he doesn't say anything to the girl. Was there a reason for that?
Originally, the ending wasn't going to be that at all. It was going to be something along the lines of, hey, I like your pants at the end. And then she's going to be like, oh, sign language, I like your pants too. But I felt like there was too much cheese at the end. So
Yeah, too cheesy, right?
Yeah. So I made it a lot more mysterious, I guess, so the audience can decide what the ending is.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Jordan.
Thank you, it was great to be here.
If you want to check out Jordan's film, go to YouTube and type in First Impressions by Jordan Huang. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm Melanie for Focus on Film, signing off. See you later.
All right, America and the rest of the world, I'm your correspondent, Michaela Halnon, and I've got the sweet deets about all the upcoming events around campus. Let's check it out. Do you enjoy the works of Edgar Allan Poe? If so, fill your long intervals of horrible sanity with Arts Emerson's upcoming show, Red Eye to Havre de Grace. This action opera follows Poe's mysterious actions through a train ride shortly before his death. Let's be real for a second. Just the phrase action opera based on Edgar Allan Poe is probably the coolest thing I've ever heard. All I want to do is meet the person who had this amazing idea and shake their hand because they are probably a confident baller who makes great eye contact during a handshake. Student tickets are only $15. Quoth the Raven, this weekend only on the Paramount main stage. Can you feel the love tonight? Or rather, tomorrow night? If you've been looking for love in all the wrong places, try checking in the multi-purpose room tomorrow at 8 p.m. MC Troupe presents Valentine's Day Cabaret featuring love songs from your favorite Disney classics. So grab your lover or just your friends and head over to Piano Row for a pre-Valentine's Day concert. Even if you don't find love, you can at least find the free refreshments, which, let's be honest, is probably even better. Are you too cool for school? Emerson understands your need for individuality, so if you're looking to design your own major to be as cool as you are, attend the individually designed interdisciplinary program student panel tomorrow to hear from current Emerson students about creating their own IDIP. If you are considering changing your major to MFA in Magic, good luck, because they have not gotten back to me on that one yet. The panel will be 6 to 8 p.m. in the Walker Building, 223, with refreshments and a meet and greet afterwards. Okay, but actually, if you want to know why a Magic major isn't the best thing ever, Check out my blog, www.pleaseletmemajorinmagicemersoncollegeibegofyou.gov. If you are looking for a bloody good time, check out Shakespeare Society's upcoming show, Cymbeline. We all know what it's like to fall in love, but for Imogen, the results can be disastrous. This weekend, innocence and jealousy will rule the cabaret in this exciting and tragic story. Also, it stars Common Agenda alumni Jamie Sanders, which is probably the best advertisement that you can get. So go out and support student theater, but don't get too close. The sword fights in this fight for power are real. If you are looking for sort of a good time this Valentine's Day, don't bother splurging on your date. For only $8 and a meal swipe, you can impress that special someone with a romantic dinner in the dining hall. There will be waiters actually serving you foods so that you can get extra time with that special someone. Be sure to get your reservation in on time for this fancy dining event. Between the linen tablecloths and the special menu, you're guaranteed an evening to remember. Now let's send it over to Aaron Cavall for this week's edition of Weekend in the Bean to close us out.
Chocolate and ice skating? Need I say more? Hello everyone, I'm Erin Koval with Weekend on the Bean, the first one of the semester. Today we're here at the Boston Harbor Hotel located at 70 Roars Wharf, which on Saturday, February 22nd will be hosting the Above and Below Chocolate Party from 1 to 4 p.m. First you get to indulge yourself with delicious treats. They even have something with candied bacon. That's bacon. That's also candied. Then after you've gorged on the irresistible sweets, you can work it off with a lap around the ice rink. Now let's go talk to Boston Hotel's executive pastry chef, Sean Dresser, and find out a little bit more about the candied bacon. I mean party. That might be important. So Sean, tell me, what can people expect to see from your chocolates?
You're going to see a whole array of chocolates going from dark to white to milk, different textures. We're going to have mousses, cookies, cakes, custards. One of them being our milk chocolate tart with peanut butter mousse and candied bacon. It's definitely that whole salty, sweet kind of combination. So you got a little crunch from the bacon, you got the sweetness of the peanut butter, and then that dark chocolate contrast with milk chocolate contrast. We have the white chocolate burnt orange rice pudding, so rice containing no gluten, so that's good for a gluten-free person, as well as a flourless chocolate cake with a passion fruit custard. Also, not to leave out our vegan friends, I have a dark chocolate cupcake that I use for all my cakes. Nobody knows that it's vegan. It's delicious, so it's really good.
And other than just the chocolates themselves, obviously, where else are chocolate elements being put into this?
We're going to have some cocktails that are chocolate-based. I know we're definitely having some hot chocolate. You can't do without that. And throughout the stations, I'm going to do some chocolate showpieces.
Well, there you have it, Emerson. If you're looking to indulge in some sweet treats and have fun at the same time, check out the Above and Below Chocolate Party at the Boston Harbor Hotel on Saturday the 22nd. And to get your tickets for $38, go to winteronthewharf.com. That's it for Weekend on the Bean. I'm Erin Koval, and I'll see you next week. Now, bean me out, Scotty.
Well, that's all the time we've got for today, kids. And I just want to remind you all that this Friday, Valentine's Day, I'll be sitting alone in the park waiting for someone to come say hi. I'll be wearing an Emerson Dad's shirt from the bookstore and a pair of my mother's Crocs. What's not to love? Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Common Agenda. Until next time, I'm Sam Crichton, signing off for this edition of Common Agenda. See you soon!